count Jamie. It's the first week where myself, Dylan, and SJ have all lost. Last year we didn't get to have it. We all managed to. Obviously, Dylan going undefeated. That's probably what saved it, realistically. But this is the first week that we've all lost. So we're gonna obviously be depressed. Now Jamie's here. I've employed Jamie to laugh at us because we deserve it. So that's it. Again, coming all the way from Qatar. Thank you, Jamie, for being here. Hopefully Dylan will come on. I'm just hoping that he's just late and he's not, staring into a black hole.
He's sulking.
But we don't know this. Obviously, they hyped it up last week. They had the stream, but it didn't go Dylan's way, unfortunately. But again, you're going up to Div 1. This is what happens. Unlike Gloucestershire, who did very well in the division last year, but couldn't manage to beat Aberystwyth. I will say, before we continue this narrative that Aberystwyth don't like me, Aberystwyth are on the show next week. Their president, Sam Kimber, is coming on. And also, they're also really nice. I've got nothing with Aberystwyth, but Gloucestershire can't beat them, and we'll get into that. And maybe we'll get into Brunel versus Oxford, but we don't know about that. So we're going to go down to scores. But Jamie's sat there. What are you drinking, Jamie?
Hot chocolate. I had to think about that.
Oh, yeah, hot chocolate. Do you want to hear a fun fact? I know we'll get into the football in a second, but a fun fact: I had a hot chocolate yesterday, and
what has this become?
That was realised. There you go. That was my second L of Sunday.
What does an out-of-date hot chocolate taste like?
Honestly, mate, I couldn't taste it. I had a lovely hot chocolate. It'd be a bit thick, but I thought it was just hot chocolate. But we'll go. But we'll think about it. Mate, run down. Normally, Steve gets a delivery of food while Oz asks him what you're having for dinner, and Steve's eating the food while talking about football. But we're not going to do that because we're losing viewers. So we're going to get into We're going to get into the week 3 results. Starting with the Prem, Leeds Beckett Carnegie go 1-0, beating Loughborough 46-0 as SJ sheds a tear. The Bullets do Bullets things in Battle of Bristol 3, beating the Prides 60-0. Cardiff Cobras can't get their win back from Explosion last year as they fall to the Lions 27-17. Durham Saints lose a close one to the Nottingham Gold 16-0. In Division 1, the Liverpool Raptors improved to 2-0 over the MMU Eagles 2014. Another good showing from the Eagles there, I'd say. Sheffield Hallam beat Coventry, shock horror, 35-7. The Southampton Stags lose to the Demons 43-0. In a surprise victory, and I will say, the Oxford Lancers beat the Brunel Burners 12-8. The Royal Holloway Bears fall to 0-2, losing to the Hertfordshire Hurricanes 32-14. UEA Pirates get their first taste of Div 1 in a while, beating the KCL Regents 40-6. Kent Falcons continue their winning streak because I'm all on that Falcons train. They beat the QMBL Vipers 15-6 in a match that will bring a tear to Dylan's eye. The Edinburgh Mavericks beat the Heriot Wolverines 22-8. And again, I'm shocked by this, and we'll get into it. LJMU Fury fall to 0-2, losing to the Tyrants 34-14. Going to move on to Best Division, Division 2. And ladies and gentlemen, the shocker of the year, unbelievable. Taranai, Aberystwyth 12, Gloucestershire Gladiators 6, Sussex Saxons 6, Surrey Stingers 0.
Good job.
That was
Good job.
Terrible to say. Imperial beats City 34-22. The Lincoln Colonials stage a shutout of the Cambridge Pythons 23-0. ARU Siege fall to the Derby Braves 30-3. The Stolen Redhawks beat Oxford Brooks 22-6. Lancaster Bombers 8, Edgehill Vikings 2. And truthfully, in a week of quite some shocking games, probably the most shocking here, Northumbria Mustangs 35, Sheffield Sabres 17. So let's start with a Prem, work our way down. It's a week of not that much surprising. I thought Loughborough would do a bit better. Leeds Beckett, though, proving that they are the big dogs here as far as I'm concerned.
I believe the first touchdown was actually scored by one of the previous Loughborough players.
No,
which is
Running
painful. Which is painful. He knows who he is, and he's a scumbag for doing that.
Because that's one of the things you got. That's one of the things you got to consider for this game is that there's a fair few people who've sort of swapped around from both of those squads. But to see Loughborough again, I still think Loughborough's going to be a very good side. But I think with that score against one of the tougher teams in the Prem North, I think that definitely cements Leeds Beckett.
I think they're the strongest, to be honest. I think if you look at the other score up there, was it 16-0? Was it 16 or 14-0?
16.
Is that Durham have got better from last year, or was there a lot of mistakes from? I don't think I can say Nottingham have got worse. I don't think they ever do. They get better every year. So was there just a lot of mistakes? What was it? Because that's not a score line. I saw that one, and that was the one that surprised me. I thought I definitely sort of err on the side of Durham being better. We have sort of one of the sort of underlying narratives that we've heard in the off season is that don't count out Durham, and especially after the game last year in the playoffs against SGS, where it was a lot closer than everyone thinks. It just sort of proved that Durham definitely has something there. So it's going to be one to watch from Durham going forward. But yeah, definitely surprising. Nottingham, I think this week, because we'll get into week 4, we'll do our previews. As far as I'm concerned, we'll do game of the week now. It's Nottingham Gold versus Leeds Beckett. That is the game. Wouldn't surprise me if Leeds Beckett, obviously the big thing about that game is for the last 2 years, whoever the home side is, they've won. Who's home again this year? Who's home first?
I believe. Let me scroll down. My mistake. Normally Dylan does this for me. I believe it's Nottingham. Don't quote me on that. I'll actually check now. I'll actually talk someone vamp for me.
I think as well, from what I've heard, if Jason Scott and Nottingham win this game, that's his 100th Uniball win.
Oh,
that's in Uniball. That's a lot of wins.
That's big.
That's what? That's over 10 years worth of wins, roughly, give or take.
Because that's it. Because he is one of the most prolific coach, if not, I'd say probably the most prolific Uniball coach that we've got.
Fraser's chirping up.
He's bowled it.
That is funny.
He's bowled it.
Fraser, I promise you, I'm trying to find him. I want to see what his reaction will be.
It's Nottingham at home, by the way.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So again, that I think plays a big part. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
I think that plays a huge part in this game. And to be honest, I think that that's definitely going to be on my mind when doing the picks later. But again, I think this sort of showing against against Loughborough, I think it's very, very difficult. But obviously, first game for Beckett. You can't really. We sort of said this last week. You can't really tell too much from people in their first game, but 46-0 against Loughborough, I think we can take some things from that I think that Beckett are going to be one to deal with. So if we move on further south to the Saturday games, we had.
Let's go back to the Beckett game. They've got he's a rookie right guard. He's 18 years old. In the first quarter, he got 8 pancakes.
He must be full. He's carving up.
He's mentally good. He was at the Alphas youth team and was like, he's just scary.
Oh, that explains why you're sucking him off. That explains it. That makes sense.
Well, EB19s.
Did you teach him everything he knows?
That's how I ever trained with him, mate.
So moving down south, obviously it was explosion this week. Cardiff versus the Lions. Again, sort of what I'd expect. I know I picked Cardiff to win, and to be fair, I don't feel bad about that. I thought they might be able to take it back, but Birmingham has sort of again proven that they are that.
Well, they scored on the first play.
They scored on the first play. I was watching it. They scored on the first play, and then I was like, okay, this could be an interesting one. But I've also learned with the name Explosion. I had a coach that searched Birmingham Explosion, as in the word explosion normally, and I'm not sure what his FBI man is going to think of that now. But it could be let you get up.
Brilliant. You know, like I think it goes back. Like you see some of the Cardiff Cobras, you know, about fun days out with the stats come back into parlance this week. You know, obviously fun days out with the lads. I would say that Cardiff probably didn't have a fun day out with the lads on Saturday. But I still think that what this game does, it puts a lot more precedence on this Cardiff versus Portsmouth game. I think that is going to be one of the must-see ones, and hopefully, if I can get my kit sorted, and Cardiff will let me, of course, that would be one that hopefully I can go down and broadcast to the world with my dulcet tones over the top.
If they win that game, if Portsmouth win that game, it firmly probably puts them in the position for third. Which at the start of the season, I don't think it'd be horrible to say that none of us expected it at all. But speaking of fun days out, SGS had a great one.
Oh, what a fun day out! Didn't have to travel too far for this fun day out, which is always nice. But they still had to have a fun day out. This is the first game the Bullets played, and I remember there was some talk. I remember reading a few comments on some of our Uniball posts. They're like, Bullets aren't all that. Yeah, okay. What are freezing cold take there, but okay, yeah. It's exactly what everyone thought would happened.
It was I like the false sense of security they gave with Jadrian Clark's first ball being an absolute shitter and just flopping on the floor. And I was sat there watching this thinking, this guy sucks, and then literally 2 plays later he's in the end zone. Like, well, what can you do? But number 2 is insane. So Uniball at this moment with UE, professionals playing against kids. I mean, my argument with that is always going to be it happens in other sports. It happens.
This is I feel like this week we don't have a guest, so this is the week that we can take a bit longer to talk about things like this. Obviously, this has been the big talking point against UE. Now we've had the first game against probably the second best team in that in the Prem South. It's, as far as I'm concerned, is how I look at it personally is UE got their university to fully buy in, right? How many universities can say that their team fully bought in? Like, if you look at someone like Bournemouth, they got their university to buy in. They're now a performance sport. Bournemouth have been on, obviously, the last 2 years, got promoted from Div 2, went far in the playoffs in Div 1. It personally wouldn't surprise me, and I'm sure, Coach Rains may not feel the same way. It wouldn't surprise me if, in a few years, Bournemouth looks a bit more like the Bullets. Like there are these American players who want to come over and establish a foothold in Europe, and why not get a master's degree while you do it? Especially because with Britball, you can't just have American players come over. They've got to have residency in the country to be able to play. Whereas with Uniball, all they have to do is do your course, and it's a lot easier for someone to just do a master's degree or just a regular degree than it is for them to get a job, settle down, and live a life.
I think it's the question I'd ask people is how would you combat that? How would you limit UE? If we hate it that much, how would you limit it? Because that's what I'd like to know, is what the answer would be for that. If you capped it to, you only allowed this many international players on your team, then that's not fair on people that are just at this uni and are international. If you change it and cap it to no more than 3 Americans, well, in that case, the Oxford game that I was involved in yesterday, half of their team wouldn't be able to play. They're not former college stars. They're just American. So where does it go? What do you do? You can't. So, tough shit.
Jamie, you got any thoughts on this?
The conversation I've had with people about it is, if you were going to cap it, you would have to cap and it would be a really complex system that you'd have to cap the amount of international exports that are only doing masters. Because if they're coming and doing a whole undergrad or they're here on a 6-month placement or something, it's a little bit different. But when they're coming across and it feels very much like they're coming across to just piss about for a year, that you can look into it a little bit more and you can say, right, let's have a look at how much funding and scholarships are allowed to actually offer here per sport. So per team, per sport. And that's how you could maybe combat it. I don't necessarily disagree with the comment of it's not necessarily fair with the professionals playing against kids. I don't think that's a statement you can really bring out this week when it's SGS, and SGS is literally an academy for American football. I don't think that statement stands quite as strong as it would if they were playing Birmingham or if they were playing Portsmouth.
Or Cardiff. Don't forget Cardiff.
Don't
forget Cardiff.
Like it's gonna be an interesting scoreline when the Bullets turn around and play, sorry Cardiff, but like Cardiff.
They put 150 points on them. I said it at the beginning of the year, they're going to put 150 points on a team this year.
150? Do you know how hard it is to get to 150?
They're getting 150 points. They're scoring on kickoff.
No,
the only way they're scoring on kickoffs.
The only way UEA got pumped 100-0 was because they basically didn't even bother punting it. So UE always got the ball back on like their 10.
I promise you, there's a 150-0 coming up. The same as the Mud Dogs are getting a victory this year. The UE are winning by 100.
Right, so let's move on over to some of the Division 1 matchups. 150 surely not possible with running clock. This is it. This is the problem. It's 12-minute quarters, and they'll have a running clock.
You get to about 90 in the first half, which you could fully see them doing. Like it is possible.
Surely if you get pumped 90 in the first half, you just turn around and go like, nah, I'm not in it this to be a statistic.
Listen, Mike, if we're looking at the maths here, let's not look too into this.
15-minute quarters, no mercy rule.
I'll do some maths for you. Come back to me.
Come back.
Right, Div 1.
So South, obviously, we wish he was here, but let's talk about. I know Fraser's knocking about. Heriot Watt 8, Edinburgh 22. Again, I think this is very much just growing pains for the Wolverines. It's very, very.
Should we share the live stream and just do a live Monday Night Football breakdown of it?
We should. Obviously, we were all busy Sunday, but that would have been an absolute barn burner. We just do. You're a teacher, do you? Good one from Mike. I'm commentating my mic on Sunday.
It's 10. I'm not in the teaching mode right now, and I teach 10-year-olds.
But this is it. I think this is growing pains for Heriot Watt. They're coming up from Div 1. We sometimes forget this just with how mad Scotland 1 is. But again, Mavericks have been there a while. Mavericks are a solid team. What I expected to happen, unfortunately, Heriot Watt
would need a field goal every minute or two. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, how hard that is. That is so hard.
Entirely possible, I'm telling you, because they'll score 3 in a minute because they'll score in kickoffs where they'll just force fumbles, and I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
You know, Frankie's sat here trying to plot this now, don't you?
The thing is, you'd have to have minus ball security on your Madden skills list for that to happen.
Now they've brought in some American defensive players as well. I fully believe it could happen. When it was the English defensive players, yes, they were good, but they weren't quite as scary. When you have the Americans charging you down, it's kind of like, just have the ball. Just take it. Because I'm not going to lie, if I was playing with the Sharks and it was on the horizon that we could lose 150-0, imagine the memes that you could bring out of it. You're just kind of like, let's just let them have it.
Problem is, though, is that I'm funny that if you got pumped 150-0, they just let you have a field goal as the last player.
Well, you'd think
we're coming back.
Lincoln University, and they said no. So
love a bit of Lincoln colonial slander, which we'll get on to. So this is one thing we spoke about last week. We're not going to do all the Div 1 games, but just some of the more notable ones. UEA Pirates 40, KCL Regents 6. UEA back down, pumped someone.
I want to say something about this one. Well done to them, but come off it. You're making a hype video saying you're back. You took voluntary relegation.
Thank you. Yeah. This is what I said.
And like, okay, well done. Like, can't take credit to them for beating them. It shows that they are still a very, very good side. But come off it, man. It's like Man City getting relegated deliberately, going down, and then getting gassed about beating Sheffield Wednesday, who don't know have 3 points. It just, to me, it's, they do well, fine, amazing, get back up, and they prove everyone wrong, and it's their spot, 100%. But
what are they proving? What are they proving? Because it's not like it was we got relegated, but it was a bad season. Like you could say the Sterling getting relegated, and it was we went through some stuff. We're going to bounce.
Yeah.
What are they proving? They're proving that the fannies and they couldn't hack it in the Prem. What are they going to do? Go up? Are they going to say, "Now we don't fancy it. We're going to stay down again"? Like, no.
These are the words of Jamie and not ours. Jamie does not share the views.
It's gonna be one of these things where when it's UEA versus Kent, I think like that's a bit more. Well, again, KCL are good, but again, KCL have just come up from Div 2. Like it's not the game that I'd make a I'm back post for, but yeah. I mean, yeah. So Liverpool improved to 2-0, beating MMU. Liverpool already sort of doing better than I already thought they'd. Not ever thought they did. I thought they'd do this year. Beating, I think it's both the Manchester squads. But
yes,
yeah,
they have.
Very, very impressive from the Raptors. And then again, Eagles running close. Sort of MMU having a few close games, obviously with Hull last week. Just very interesting from Liverpool.
Who backed you? Did I backed Manchester. See, I know ball. You guys don't.
Yeah,
I knew you could do it, Manchester. I knew it.
Yeah, so let's move on to that. So LJMU very much hyped up, not just by us at Sports Ank, but by other Uniball outlets that I won't say the name of, but they are. They make good content. LJMU are now 0-2. Didn't see that one coming. Did not see that one coming at all.
Can we get a TikTok for it?
I hope so.
They've put a TikTok out. To be fair, they put a TikTok out.
They did, didn't they? Was it the one with the 30-0 down in the fourth?
Yeah, and G in the rookie stuff. Like I
love it. I love it.
I don't think they're taking it well behind the scenes, but to the public, they're taking it quite well. So
well, the problem is though, is that you can't be like the team that everyone looks at for the memes. You're now 0-2, and if you take your foot off the meme break, then you're going to look like it's not going to look good. So, I respect them for keeping going. But, yeah, I'm surprised that it's not shaped up as well as probably against Leeds, I can see it. But against Manchester, I thought that would be not easy for them, but I thought that would be a win for the Fury. So it's moving on to one of the other sort of surprising victories. Oxford Lancers beating Brunel in a close game at 12-8. Wonder what happened there.
I don't know. But
no.
To be fair, the game got suspended in the fourth quarter. It got suspended.
Oh, did it?
It got suspended because of one man and his 2 dogs. I'm not even joking.
Oh, right.
He was behind the end zone, simulating the snap count and doing all that kind of shit. So you've then got an offense who have got a rookie center, a rookie quarterback, and they're snapping the ball because of this guy behind them. It took the refs at least 5 or 10 minutes to even do anything about it.
So you're telling me the game was suspended because there was a man going set hut?
Yeah.
I love this sport. Best sport on earth.
But yeah, to be fair though, we just didn't play well enough. I think that's it. Oxford are a very good team. The quarterback is phenomenal. Very, very. I can't. They went away with the win and deserved it because the game got put back on. At the time it got suspended, we would have won it. And then one man and his 2 dogs left the premises, and the game was back on.
Honestly, mate, he's done you dirty there. That man. Oh, mate, honestly, Oxford Lancers MVP, random man and his 2 dogs.
It was just they didn't even know who he was either. It was just a random guy.
Oh yeah, I bet they didn't. Yeah, of course. That's the best. That's Bill Belichick level strategy from the Oxford Lancers.
Everyone's now going to have one man and his dog at every game doing that.
Yeah. So also this week saw the debut of the Exeter Demons, the 23-24 debut of the Exeter Demons, and yeah, went again about as well as everyone expected. Absolutely pumping Southampton, 43-0. Exeter, again, we've said this. I think have the best
looking team.
I think they have the best O-line in Uniball, and I'm going to count the Prem in that as well. Yeah, there you go.
Better than the Bullets.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to make that.
This is why no one respects.
It's good to know that since leaving Gloucester, Tebbs has turned to crack.
Mate, I don't feel bad about saying that, and I'm sure that I'm about to get a message from Frankie Pankhurst telling me to shut up. But, you know, I feel that way, and we're going to go from there.
Oh, this is Dylan's guy. Dylan's in the comments.
Oh, because he's never been 7 before. Ah, bollocks. Get a grip. Jim,
you got a link, Dylan?
You're a quarterback. Just stand in a pocket and throw that ball.
Whose idea was 7? Mine, because the show's. Oh, well, okay, we'll sort it out. Just get home quickly. Don't rush, and then we'll sort it out.
Right,
I'll put it to this, Dylan. We're having a great show without you. It's between 6 and 8. Yeah, that's 7 o'clock, mate.
So it could be any of them. It could be anywhere between 6 and 8. You should know not to book yourself up.
Could be 6, 7, and 8. It could even push to 9. But come on, Dylan, grow a pair of bollocks. It's Lupus commented, and I think it's time we move on to Div 2, where we are going to have a bit of humble pie in that everyone. We're missing a game. Let's go back. We're missing a game.
What game are we missing?
The fucking shit Cov Uni Jets.
Oh yeah, but that's. Do we want to talk about that game? It's exactly what we all expected.
Some of them are getting chirpy in the comments, being like, "Oh yeah, bet lad, bet." Fuck off.
Fine, if you want to talk about we had about a 5-minute segment last week about me speaking about Coventry, about how just go down, but please, it will work out better for you if you just go down.
Even if they want to try and stay up and make it a meme, good luck to you. But I think they do genuinely think that they're all right. But
this is it. Like I believe.
Me, the lad that was coming at me, then turned around and went,
engraved with. That's it. I think it was 2 game balls engraved with Jamie was wrong if they beat Sheffield Hallam. It's like. It's not going to happen, though, is it?
Congratulations, you turned up, unlike what people thought was going to happen. Well done. You didn't get no forfeit.
Like, congratulations, they scored a touchdown and a field goal, and an extra point.
Wow.
Yeah. Good on them. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Coventry. So this is the one. So it is the Mustangs. Yeah. I know I talk about it. There's a lot of. That's week 4. Where is it? There it is. There are, obviously other people who sort of prophesize about Uniball as well. It's not just us, thankfully, because otherwise that'd be awful. Everyone was like, Sheffield, they're going to do well.
Yeah, in our defence, anyone on paper would look at that and see a team that got relegated that probably shouldn't have been relegated against a Div 2 team. Did choose the one that just got
relegated as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair fucks. We all got
relegated in a division that involved the Hull Sharks. So
yeah. This is it. It's fair enough to like whenever something like this happens, unless it's like really bad, I'm not going to sit here and be like, fuck you, blah blah. No, fair enough to the Mustangs. While respect will get put on your name going forward, I think definitely with that, very much a statement win for the Mustangs.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't realise that obviously the name probably doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but I'd seen a lot of that Joe Timmons that apparently played really well that they brought in this year. And
he's a very good player.
Yeah, and his brother plays for him as well. And his brother was like the standout for them last year, was like substantially better than the rest of the players in the rest of the
and you know what? And Northumbria as well. They've upgraded their logo. Their logo is actually one of the better ones in Uniball now.
It's awful. It's awful.
What are you talking? The new Mustangs logo.
That they were going to lose, but the logo is terrible.
Their new logo's terrible.
My children in my year 6 class could design something better.
No,
than
you're
that
talking bollocks, mate. I like the new Mustangs logo. You're talking bollocks.
Next week's show, I will bring in some logos that my children make, and they are Qatari children, and they don't know anything about the sport, and they'll make a better logo than that.
You're talking bollocks, mate. I like that logo.
Next week, 7 days from today.
Mate, speaking as a Mustang, our logo is utterly I like the new logo. What the? This is boring. Well, no, rescind my apology. Get fuck off. No.
There we go. JJ's backed it.
I know. Really? I like it. Oh, I've got no taste, obviously.
But it is. I do have to ask the question: is it just a rip-off Broncos logo?
Oh no, 100%. 100% it is. Yeah.
Isn't Uniball just rip-offs? You know, we got the.
It's not as bad as like it's not as bad as like Georgia Bulldogs. Like that is just the Packers logo.
Who is this QB? Is he an American high school?
That's a Joe Timon.
Oh, is it? Oh, there you go.
It's American high school QB, I think.
I mean, Mustangs, slide into the DMs if you want to come on the show in 2 weeks.
Slide in Tebbs DMs for a link.
Or I'll slide in yours. I'll probably slide in yours. Don't worry. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. This our business gets done.
Big dub for them though. Big dub.
Huge. So what else is there? So we'll know that this is one that Jamie won't like. Lincoln kicking off their season very, very well in a shutout against Cambridge. You know, Cambridge haven't been the best team in the last few years, but just big for Lincoln. Obviously, the one thing we learned, which was strange, Lincoln don't have any home games this year.
Well done. They won a game, but they don't have a kit and they don't have
they don't have a kit. That is right. They're wearing the Stuntle Palford kit. And then last year they wore the Bombers kit as well. Lincoln, it's very hard to defend you sometimes as an alumnus, but like I know you won, but Jamie is right. Like that is bad. That like a kit I can understand somewhat. But not. I've dealt with the University of Lincoln SU before, and they're not that bad that they can't give you a home. What happened to Cherry Willingham, for God's sake? What happened to that? So, yeah, there you go. Good win for them. And I don't think there's any other Div 2 games to talk about here. No, let's move on.
I don't even care about Gloucester because no one cares about them. I feel like we need to talk about the one that was apparently postponed. It was definitely cancelled. Whether they say it or not, they definitely bottled it. Whoever it was playing the pellets and then getting chirpy in comments. And it was like, come on now.
Hey, man. You say that, but it's his home. Best field in the world. I can easily see how that gets waterlogged.
Maybe so, but it still doesn't give them a right to get chirpy in comments and say, lads, it's going to give you a couple of weeks to reevaluate your picks. Get fucked. They were going to get absolutely bummed.
Yeah, but how do you? I don't understand how you can say that. We haven't because of the walkover in week 2. We haven't seen the Bullets 2s. Yeah, Jack, I know it's awful, isn't it?
I stand by that the Bullets have brought in a lot of these imports and some of them are playing for the 2s.
Yeah, okay. But again, we still haven't seen them. To be fair, we haven't seen the Bullets either. But I'm just saying the last year. I'm just saying.
What's going on?
He's saying something. He's just.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know why you're counting out the Plymouth Blitz.
I thought there was more to that. I thought you just stopped and just thought, fuck it, I'll do something else.
Oh, sorry.
What if the UE Bullets 2s are actually the ones that are going to score 150?
Well, maybe so.
Maybe.
Against who?
When the lad from Hawaii drops down and plays for them and scores 18 touchdowns in one game, like, come on.
So we'll talk about. I do want to talk about it. Gloucestershire losing to Aberystwyth this week. So I was at that game, got on the lovely 3-hour bus journey to North Wales, which was, it was picturesque, but it was all country roads. Big up to the bus driver for not taking us off the side of a cliff, which was nice. Aberystwyth played. What?
What? Why's your bus going off the cliff?
Mate, it's Wales. It's all hills, and it's tight corners in this bus. And the bus didn't have like heated windows, so we had to keep stopping the bus to wipe the windows down. Right, like this is the sort of stuff that the University of Gloucestershire does.
This is peak Uniball.
Right, so I'm just happy that he didn't just take the plunge, and launch us, down the side of a Welsh mountain. Right, Aberystwyth played well from the first quarter to the last. So it was six. The game was majoritively 6-6. Gloucester scored first. Then it was Aberystwyth, and then a blocked punt by Aberystwyth went into the end zone, and that was the score that led them to victory. Aberystwyth played with heart from the first to the last whistle. I cannot say that Gloucestershire did. I cannot say that they did. It's going to be something that they will get to speaking to about. But personally, I'm not very happy with the performance. More the mentality, if I'm completely honest. It's a shame. Gloucestershire came in with big expectations, and they've lived up to precisely none of them as it is. But again, it's week 3. But I thought it'd do better. But I can't say any more good things about Aberystwyth. They were good. They were, considering last year everyone thought that they were going to get chirpy at me. No, they were perfectly lovely, and that's why we're having them on next week. And they've got a game of Worcester this week. There you go. That's my summary of that game.
That was quite a very brutal and depressing take on. I'm not angry, just disappointed.
No. If you want my genuine opinion, I'm not angry. I'm very, very disappointed in every single Gloucester Gladiator. I'm very, very disappointed. I didn't enjoy it at all. Easily some of the, I've watched a lot of Uniball in my time, and University of Gloucestershire yesterday played some of the worst football I have ever seen against a team who just wanted it more.
Fair enough. Well,
that's for the rest of the season. On that note, we're going to move on to previewing some of the games for next week. Obviously, the big one in the Prem.
Wolfpack losing, and they've let the entire side down with the Wolfpack.
If you want to talk about that again, it was City versus Imperial. The reason why I don't want to talk about it is I'm personally not surprised. Imperial, they are a good side. Obviously, there was some fuckery last year that took them down, but for me, ever since I saw them at Portsmouth a few years ago, and they had a small squad, but just very well drilled, lots of athletes. As far as I'm concerned, Imperial can just do these things. And City are good, but for me personally,
either of them. But I know the Wolfpack are forming quite a solid fan base within the rundown community. Let everyone down, and they need to have some shame in their own performance.
Well, that's it. Again, City are good, but it's going to be quite coming of next week when Yale enters the fray, who very much are, I'd argue, probably the favourites for that div. It's either them or Imperial, because grit too much from being flipped to being back down to being okay, because they were barnstormers a few years ago. Huh?
No one said anything.
I thought you did.
It's the ghost of Uniball talking to you early.
It's the ghost. We can talk about ones like Solent beating Oxford Brookes 22-6. Not much of a surprise. Favourite there beating Oxford, who I've heard of maybe struggling. And Derby beating ARU.
I heard the refs in that game weren't up to scratch either. I'm fairly certain they didn't do a game just before that, possibly elsewhere in Oxford. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Oh, okay. Tread lightly. I mean, I know we said we're going to have the BAFTA report, but we went through it, and there's not much. It's the markings were good. The markings were bad. You can change in the lock. Sorry, the locker room can be locked, and the locker room cannot be locked.
Do the Manchester one in the accent. Come
on. Yeah, the full Manchester one.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, you guys got to talk because I don't have it up as it stands.
I feel like the Lancaster Edge Hill game was a right barnstormer with an 8-2 victory. Edge Hill showing that they actually are still shit, despite the fact that they talk a lot online. They seem to hype themselves up an awful lot to still be crap. But what is an Edge Hill?
What is the
you love the insult of what is the city? Insert city here.
There are no suitable goalposts. God.
I'll tell you what, but it's like there's only one new ejection this week, and that was for City. Nothing interesting, just a dead ball flagrant personal foul against opponents. And number 38 will not be playing.
That was last week, wasn't it? That was a game that would have been against Greenwich. So good job to him.
No.
Well done.
Suspended, it is,
yeah. He's back now.
I thought that was new this week, and then previous weeks it was Cambridge.
Fuck knows.
There you go. So City's got someone suspended. Okay. Manchester Tyrants versus Leeds Griffins. I can't remember what the voice was. 100-yard field marked in dark blue. Numbers and line limits were present, and team areas are marked out with cones. The original medic booked by the home team was not present at kickoff, so an alternate medic was sourced by the home team, who assured us they had relevant qualifications. At half-time, they were notified that the alternate medic was in fact not suitably qualified, and a second alternate medic was which delayed the start of the second half by 30 minutes. Chain crew were very poor, and the ball persons were changed 3 times over the course of the game. So that's quite funny. There you go. That's the funniest one.
What an injection.
Harriet, what? Okay. Then that'll be on next week's. No, I think SJ's right. These are all from the week prior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing interesting. We're going to wait for the Southampton one. The Southampton one's always a great one, where Southampton, are always very nice and give the refs sweeties. So there you go.
What's 100 IFAF yard field? Are we having the
IFAF? Don't get into the IFAF yards. I think it's like the IFAF yards is slightly shorter than a regular yard. I forget what it is. If you honestly, Steve and Oz,
amount of downs.
Steve and Oz have spoken at length about this. If you say to Steve an IFAF yard, his eyes roll back into his head. That's how much he hates it. But yeah, we hopefully, if Michael is still listening, he knows all about it. But I forget how long an IFAF yard is, but it's slightly shorter. I think it's to accommodate an 80-yard field. So,
SJ, what happened with you missing a down for Brunel? I feel like that's entertaining.
That is entertaining.
That's not for me to comment. What happened is.
You're not saying it in a bad way. You're just explaining what happened. You don't even have to say what happened to what team.
It was first down, second down. On second down, there should have been a first down, but it appears that the down marker wasn't actually reset to 1. So there was a second down, a third down, and a fourth down. And then what the fuck? Where's the extra down gone? But alas, there is apparently only second, third, and fourth down in the game of American football now. So yeah, that's how that went.
Fantastic.
We've lost downs. We've got 1 man, he's 2 dogs. Overall,
honestly, mate, he's Oxford Hall of Fame, mate. 1 man, 2 dogs.
I can't make it.
So, moving on to next week. Oh yeah, Harriet, what did have an ejection for targeting? Yeah, we do know about that. Yeah.
He talks to us.
He does, yeah. Obviously, so Nottingham Gold versus Leeds Beckett is sort of the biggest one this week. For me, like the statistics don't lie. It's Nottingham at home, as far as I'm concerned. There you go. Here's Mike. 3.42 inches rather than 36 inches can only be used on 90-yard fields. There you go. That is an IFAF yard, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's measuring 34.12 inches?
Britball refs. I don't know what you want from me. One of the big ones up in Scotland, it's Stirling versus Heriot Watt.
Ooh.
Be an interesting one.
I don't think we're seeing Dylan next week either.
No. First game of the season. But it's going to be different. It's going to be interesting because they're coming back with a vengeance, I think. And obviously, it was supposed to be their first game against the UWS Pyros in week 2, which would have been the funniest game that's ever been played, I think. But unfortunately, it was not to be. So it seems that Heriot Watt are going to be the primary target for Stirling. Warwick versus Sheffield Hallam will be a good game, if we're looking at Div 1. And I will say Sports Tank live stream this week is going to be Royal Holloway versus Oxford. So I think that'll be an interesting one, especially after the last 2 weeks. It is at Royal Holloway, yes.
So you don't get to meet one man and his 2 dogs. That's disappointing.
No. If I'd go up and interview him,
unless he is an actual player's dad and he just goes with him on the bus.
Be so funny. Turns out those dogs are actually just disguised speakers with just that. That'd be fantastic.
I think that's actually the dogs' names. One's called Set and one's called Hut.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Exeter versus Bath, that could be an interesting one. But sort of moving on from there, is there any other games for next week in Prem or Div 1 that anyone's got any thoughts on? Obviously, Hull are playing, but they're playing Liverpool, so I don't think that'll go too well for them. There are some good games. We'll get into it. We're going to go to look at Div 2. Div 2 is not a UCL start. I think that's obviously one of the bigger ones, as UCL are the sort of favourites to win that division. I personally think that Swansea Titans versus Plymouth Blitz, obviously I am biased because I'm in the Southwest too, but also because I've got this lovely Swansea Titans shirt, which I bought myself. So I don't know why I'm saying it like that, because I bought it because I thought it'd be funny, and then I had to leave university, so then it wasn't as funny, so now I just own the shirt.
What a dick.
Yep. I've still got a Bath Killer Bees shirt that I wear, so I've only got like 2 months of free merch in my lifetime. That's the only reason why I do this show. Bradford Bears coming back. Obviously, they had a 100-point game last year. Mike with an absolute golden comment there. Down set, down hut. Brilliant. That is a good one. None of his comments. No. That's it. So we're going to get into our picks now, have a nice sort of tighter show, because there's not much really else in Div 2 that is really looking particularly spicy, if I'm completely honest. Keel make their debut against UClan. UClan coming back is going to be quite interesting, but sorry, Keel. I don't think that's, Imagine if Keel win. They're not, but imagine if they did. Okay. So we're going to start with the Prem. Go SJ first, then Jamie for some of these games. So in week 4, we have the 1-1 Portsmouth Destroyers versus the Cardiff Cobras.
Portsmouth.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to try and do what I normally do against Portsmouth, but I think they're going to take that. The Bullets versus the Lions. How many points?
Lions by 65.
What?
No. What?
What?
Bullets.
By how much? By how much?
I thought that was quite rude.
Say by 3 then.
73.
I think that they're just still getting a little bit warm, so it'll be the Bullets by 94.
I think it'll be the Bullets by 40.
Ooh. So you think that Birmingham are going to hold out, give a better game than SGS?
You know what, Jamie? That's a very, very good point. Bullets by 70.
Look at us. We're pissing about Mike. Mike straight to the point. He's just destroy his bullets. Crack on. Get to the next one, Tebbs. Let's go.
No, grow up, Mike. It's my show. It's not. This isn't Steve's rundown. This is my rundown. I can talk as much bollocks as I want. Nottingham Gold versus Leeds Beckett. Gold because they're at home.
I'm going Beckett.
I'm going Beckett.
I think Beckett, knowing full well that is going to be his 100th win, will want nothing more than to ruin that party.
Brilliant. Durham versus Loughborough.
Durham.
You don't want to do it?
Football's going to win.
Okay. Well, then I'm also going to be picking Durham. So moving on to Division 1, Glasgow Uni Tigers versus Edinburgh Napier Knights. Nice and easy, Glasgow.
Glasgow.
I'll go Glasgow. Just.
Okay. So I think you say someone else. Sterling versus Heriot Watt.
Sterling.
Yeah.
Keep up, Mike. You got to keep up.
His ankle.
Brilliant. In the arms of the angel. Manchester Tyrants versus Leeds Griffins.
Leeds.
Hull Sharks versus Liverpool Raptors. Strangely, Liverpool.
I'm going Hull because Liverpool have played back-to-back already. So I'm going on the tiredness factor.
That's the most bollocks reason I've ever heard in my life.
Awful reason.
And
poor.
The Sharks are only going to improve. They've got a new scheme. They showed that offensively they can do bits. Defensively, they got their defensive player of the week last week. They're showing that they've got the talent. And I don't think that they're as bad as people think. I think that Mike's catching up, bless him. I think that Hull will scrape it in an absolute barnstormer.
Warwick Wolves versus Sheffield Hallam.
That's a nice one.
That's a good one.
I'm going Warwick.
Yeah, you know what? Warwick.
Yes, Jay. Hull are doing a lot more than run middle now.
They're running outside.
Have they learnt left and right now as well?
Well, I don't know. I don't think there's a set direction. I think it's just run.
Just fuck it, man. There'll be something over.
He doesn't want to spoil the scheme. Run left, run right. Where was he?
Good lad, Mike. Mike believes in the Sharks as well. Good lad, Mike.
Brilliant. What? That's Mike. That's why you're not on a show. That's why you get relegated to doing commentary. Bristol versus Southampton. Southampton. They won 2 weeks ago. I don't think it's a big enough times to turn around, if I'm completely honest.
Southampton.
Exeter versus Bath. Exeter.
Up the Demons.
In the Sport Tank live stream game, it's going to be the Royal Holloway Bears versus the Oxford Lancers.
Bears.
Yeah, that's fair. Football. Oh, yes. Sorry. Hertfordshire versus Reading. This is me and you, Jamie. Hertfordshire.
Yeah.
Okay. UEA versus Essex. UEA,
but they shouldn't be in the division.
UEA.
I forget that's not your division anymore, so I'm so used to Essex Blades and Brunel.
I'm so glad we're not travelling that far anymore.
Yeah. KCL versus Kent. Nice easy one. Kent Falcons.
Kent.
So moving on to Division 2. It's going to be the Staffordshire Stallions versus the Lancaster Bombers.
Staffs.
Yeah, that's fair. Kiel versus UClan. UClan by a lot.
UClan, and I'm going to go out there. UClan by 80.
Okay, yep. That it was what is. I'm not even going to sit here and say that's not off the table. York Centurions versus Bradford.
Centurions.
Yep.
York.
York St John Jaguars versus the Sheffield Sabres.
Sheffield.
The ARU Siege versus the Nottingham Green.
Green.
The Swansea Titans versus the Plymouth Blitz.
Swansea.
Blitz.
I'm going to go with Swansea.
I've just realised, is it ironic that I'm sat here picking Blitz wearing a Swansea Titans shirt?
No, I'm not. I'm going to go for a draw.
A draw.
Yeah.
Worcester Royals versus Taranai Aberystwyth.
Taranai.
Yeah.
What? Right. So, can we just pause? What? And this isn't even me as an insult. Is a Taranai a thing? Is it a place? Is it?
It's thunder in Welsh.
Right. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
We'll go with them then because I like that.
The Chichester Spitfires versus Oxford Brooks. Oxford Brooks.
Yeah.
Chichester if two man and his dog appears, but we'll go from there. And finally, making their debut this week, the UCL Emperors versus the Greenwich Mariners.
UCL.
Yep.
I'm going to go for an upset. I don't know if it's an upset because it's the South and I don't care, but I'm going to go for an upset and go Greenwich.
I don't think there's such thing as an upset in Div 2, to be honest.
No.
It's chaos.
No.
I love it.
I know you say that. If Bangor beat anyone and if York St John beat anyone, that's an upset. Or Chichester. If any of those three teams beat anyone, that's an upset.
I'm putting this forward, right? I will fund some of it. I will put some money towards it. Can we get, at some point this year, whether it's after the season or during the season, can we get a YSJ versus Mud Dogs game? Because I feel like
fund it
and live stream it, and I will fund some. I'm not funding the whole thing because that's going to be expensive, but I will put stuff in it if we can get this going.
Because if we're going to fund anything that's Div 2, it's going to be the person who wins the Div 2 North versus the person who versus the Div 2 South.
No,
we're not going to fund Bangor versus fucking York St John.
Fortnite don't need to fund anything. They just need to turn up and stream it. I will put the money in, and the other the teams can. Oh, we'll get a fundraiser going or something.
To be fair, they probably both would be in for it as well. That's the worst part.
Put it up as a poll on the Sport Tank Instagram and be like, would the audience be interested in seeing this? Because I bet it would be a well-resounding yes.
That should have been a game last year.
Yeah, but who wins that game? Because I have to say York St John.
Football.
Wait, who wins that? Who wins that, Ben?
The fans. York St John win that game, surely.
I don't know. I reckon the Mud Dogs are up there.
Up there with what?
What boys?
Up there with what? Mate, honestly, what you needed is UWS Pyros versus Bangor. That's the game.
No.
York St John won a game last year.
Did they?
Yep.
York St John also bottled a pre-season friendly with us, so I have no respect for him.
SJ, are you looking to see who York St John beat?
I am actually, because I don't spend enough of my time on BUCS play as it is. It's not like it's my job or anything, is it?
I'm telling you, the fans would go mental for that. Who needs the Battle of Bristol when you've got the Battle of the Bastards? Like, come on.
But wasn't it that the team who wins gets funding for next year?
The team who wins doesn't get kicked out.
God.
Wade
We will end the show.
They beat Bangor 8-0.
There you go, bang. We've had it. It's done. The game's UWS.
Or was it a walkover and someone's decided not to put it in as a walkover?
Ben Reed's just put, I think their win was a walkover versus Bangor.
Oh, Christ. I thought it was an 8-0 win. Oh, no. The narrative is back.
They've scummed the BUCS player, but there's bad blood as well. We'll get one from each. team on the show, and we'll have them doing a better promo than Dylan did last week with Fraser. And I'm telling you, sell tickets.
It's got to be here somewhere.
The Sport Tank Bowl.
All I can see is YSJ lost last year to the old boys.
Honestly, mate, I don't think there's anything more depressing in Uniball than when your current team loses to your old boys squad. I've seen it happen a few times, and I'm like, fucking hell. I know that, like, when you look at some of the Div 1 sides, they've got players who play actual, like, senior ball, and then that's fine. But when
they won 8-0.
Get in.
Yeah.
Big up York St John.
And
Big up the Jags.
Lies.
Need to get UWS on the phone.
Make it a triple threat. Just have them play thirds.
No. Okay. We will end the show in a second, but it's got to be a fatal four-way tournament, a four-way tournament. Chichester, UWS, Bangor, York St John. Maybe you can include maybe you take Winchester as well, but because Winchester.
Put Coventry in.
Winchester cashing in the money in the bank and coming in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Who else? Would you? I know this is us just slagging off bad team. No, I wouldn't put Keele in there.
Get the two chairpersons to play on Madden. Yeah, I like that.
I don't. I want to see him actually play.
Oh fucking hell, man!
No, but if we're gonna make him play, if we're gonna make him play, if we're gonna have to make him play, 15-minute quarters, no mercy clock. None. Even if you're out of players, no mercy clock. You play with 10 men. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week.
Wednesday.
Huh?
Get that on BUCS Wednesday.
Yeah, but get it on BUCS Wednesday. It's like, no worry, Div 1 game, push that out the window.
No, you have the Prem game, you have it in between as that stopgap because there was a lot of time in between the games where everyone was like, what do we do? So you put that on because that'll get the fans going.
That's it. That's what you need. And you get a free shot for every touchdown. And guess what you'll be at the end of the game? Sober. Unbelievable stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Next week, we'll be back here at 7. Hopefully, Dylan will be here. But he has got to face Sterling. So, we don't know. The Sport Tank live stream game of this week is going to be Royal Holloway versus Oxford. And
we officiate it. Fucking hell.
Another banger of a game to be streamed.
It's not that it's a good game, I think.
I don't know. There's definitely better ones he could have chosen this week.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm going to get my stuff soon. I didn't pick them. I'm just going because I'm unemployed on Sundays now. Or re-employed. But if you're playing this week, good luck, stay in good health, and we will see you next week. Goodbye from SJ, goodbye from Jamie, goodbye from Dylan, who's in the gym. Didn't know there was a pub in Edinburgh called the Gym, but we move.
His friend Jim. He's in his friend Jim.
Yeah.